Welcome to this video that I'm going to do about pastels in color, and that'll lead into another video that I will do later about mixing neutrals and more about acrylic painting. So one of the main things that I do with color now that I've learned, a lot of things about color, because that was one of my weak areas, was color. I felt like I could draw, but I had no idea what to do when it came to color, especially neutrals, grays, browns, those kinds of colors. So, but the main thing I do right now, whether it's a pastel or whether it's an acrylic painting, is I decide what is the main color of the painting. Am I wanting to create a blue painting, a red painting, a neutral painting, a yellow painting? I decide that first. Then I think about what are the complementary colors that go with that main color. One of the things that I have picked up along the way is this color wheel, an analogous color wheel. And I don't look at it in the beginning, but I do look at it later on to help me think about, have I used the complementary colors? Here is blue. The complement is orange. In between here, which you really can't see, are the neutrals, because when you mix blue and orange together, you get the neutrals, which would be grays and browns, or a toned down version of your pure color. Then the adjacent hues, which are going to be the analogous colors, here is blue-green, here's blue-violet. So it's good to maybe use a little bit of those colors. It's not even, but maybe along with my blue, I have some blue-green and I have some blue-violet for to make it more interesting. Excuse me. Then I have the discord colors. Maybe just a little pop of this yellow-green, a little pop of the red. So I like this color wheel. Too much pastel dust, I think. When I mix acrylic paints, I a lot of times refer back to this color mixing Bible, which gives how to mix different colors with acrylics, with pastels, with oil paints, watercolors, temperas. And then one of the things that came with a set of golden paints is this color mixing guide for the classic color mixing theory. So here are the colors that came in the box, and here is the color wheel where all of the colors are mixed. So I went and I did this whole color wheel myself to teach myself how I could make these colors with the colors that came in the set. Very, very helpful thing for me to do personally. Now I know how to mix more colors than I had to begin with. So anyway, I am going to stop coughing now, get a glass of water. Then I am going to work on these three. I have a red, blue, and yellow ochre. And I'm going to pick out some pastel colors, and I'm going to work on these three pastels. Okay, so I showed you the colors in the photograph of what I'm going to use, and I like to pick out colors also in a range of values from light to dark. Limit the colors by laying them out on a table, picking them out of the pastel box first, laying them out so that I'm not always grabbing something different. So I look for the colors that I'm going to use first, and then I look at value. Here I've made this a little bit darker But, and do I put down the light ones first, the dark ones first? You know, I really don't have a particular order that I use. A lot of times I will start with the light one, but I think I am going to start maybe with this dark area. And even though we see black here, I may cover it up. It's just meant to help me figure out where the dark colors are going to go. Maybe I'll even put a little purple up here. But mostly I'm going to put, see, here's a light, like a dark brown, which would be a really dark yellow. Here's another variation on that, a little bit lighter, that I could put down. Here is a brighter yellow. Put that down. Then a variation, some yellow green. Where could I put my yellow green? Instead of the same kind of yellow, I can have some yellow green, which is the other side of the analogous color. We would have yellow, yellow green, yellow orange. Where else can I put that? Maybe I'll put some down here. I have some orange, some yellow orange that I could use. Put a little of that in here. I'm not going to use as much, but you know, I can put a little down here. I have some, this is kind of a dull violet, because that's the complementary color of yellow, would be violet. So here I have got more of a grayed version, and I actually could use even a lighter variation. Let's see if I have one I can find. I'm not sure. This is a light violet, so I think I'll put that in there. Okay, and then maybe I can put in some more blue violet. So you can see, here's a really light yellow. So I have all these variations of the colors in the yellow and the complement of violet, the colors alongside the color wheel of yellow green, some orange, yellow orange, and instead of just red violet, I also have blue violet. You know, another color, because violet is the complement, and so we would have red violet, blue violet, or violet, and it could all even use a little more blue. So, but I don't have that pulled out right now, so we'll just stick with this. But those are nice colors to go with this. So I can do a little study like this and just kind of test things out. And I think that clear gesso really gives it a nice sparkle. So next I'll go on to the blue one. Okay, so you saw through the picture how I chose some blues and oranges. Blue is the dominant color, orange is the complement, and I chose some variations on blue, some blue violet, some blue green, even some grayish tones, and orange, some bright orange, but some, you know, rust color, some real light sienna, peach, yellow orange. So I picked some variations of those colors to put on this blue underpainting. So let me go ahead and put some of those down. I like to lay the colors out in order also of value from dark to light, and I recommend that you do that choose colors before you even start, so you're not continually looking. Once you lay them out, then you can work a little bit quicker, more expressively, without having to go back in and constantly be looking for something that's right. Look for it ahead of time. Okay, so there's the dark version. I could probably even use a brown. I do like to use browns, so I'm going to get out probably the same brown I had for this one. I think I'll put in here too. I like a brown. There are all different kinds of browns. There are bluish tinges, and I'll go over neutrals at another time. So there we have that. Let me put some more blue in here. Here is, this is more of a ultramarine blue. Oh, that is just really a gorgeous color. So, you know, these are just little end pieces of paper that I saved. Ooh. I also, when blue, I really like to mix a turquoise and ultramarine together, because blue is such a strong color that it needs to be toned down sometimes. You can have way too much ultramarine, and it is about as strong as black. Here's another variation with blue. That's a nice color. Whatever it is, I'm really not sure, but I think it's a gorgeous color. So I'll put some there. I think I'll put down some lighter colors. So there's a nice, really a Sennelier, really light orange. What a nice color. Here is a Giraud. It might actually be a little bit too red, but red-orange would fit in well with this color combination. So I'll put a little bit of this red-orange in there. And actually, you know, a color I didn't pick out but would be a little bit more blue-green, in the range of like a turquoise. Here's another type of a blue, almost a blue-violet. But, you know, when you are using any color, blue, here, choose the variations in the type of blue. Don't just pick dark, medium, light of the same kind of blue. Use variations of the blue so that it's more interesting. Here's a light gray, which is my neutral. It's almost got a green tinge to it, an umber tinge to it, but I really like putting in these neutral colors. Okay, here's another one, which is probably, oh, it might be the same one. Here is more of a violet, I think. Ooh, that's pretty. Even in an area that's neutral, I like to change up the kind of neutral that's in there. How about a little bit of this warm color, which is going to be like a light burnt sienna. Oh, nice. Okay. I could use in here a little bit more turquoise. Let me see if I can find something that's more of a turquoise, because that's what I think it probably needs a little bit of. Somebody told me in a workshop that every artwork needs a little bit of turquoise, and I still keep thinking with this too, some yellow-green. That is the color I think it probably needs, is a little yellow-green. Let me see, maybe this one. Where can Oh, yeah. See, I think it really kind of needed that color. A little bit. Well, now, I like yellow-green, so that is a color that I put in quite a bit because it's a color I personally like. So I'm always trying to find somewhere I can put yellow-green. But I think those are nice color combinations that are in there right now. And just for a little abstract, I think that turned out fairly well. So I'll go on to the red one next. Well, you saw some of the colors that I'm going to pick for red, green, and trying them out on the newsprint, trying them out on a piece of paper towel. But I always try things out. So let me start by just, you know, I have varieties of different greens. I've got some blue greens, some olives. Here's a blue green. I also like to, one of the things I like to do, if you've noticed, is I like to move the color around. If I put color one place, where else can I put it? And if you notice, I'm brushing the paper and I'm always using the side of the pastel, and there are no labels on my pastels so that I can do that. Now I'll put a little red down. I've got some bright reds. I've got some more pinkish. I've got red violet, red orange. Maybe I'll put a little more up here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, I have this really nice dark red. Ooh, I can put that up here. If I put it down light enough, I can layer it over the rest of the pastel. This paper is a little bit warped from me working a little too fast and just didn't get as dry. So there's a red violet. I could put a lighter version of red violet in there also, which would be more along the lines of some kind of a pink. That would fit in here too. Okay, and I've got a red, like an orange, that would fit. When you look at that analogous color wheel that I showed you, that's another color that would fit. Could put that here. A light, really light red. When I buy colors in the past, sometimes I've bought a whole set of reds, a whole set of yellows, so that I have that range of colors. I don't get them all at once. I just get them periodically because I've never been able to really afford getting all of them at once. So we've got some blue green, some olive. So how about a little yellow green? Variations in greens and reds on the analogous color wheel. Put some down here, maybe really lightly. Kind of go over and pick up the texture of that paper. Maybe a little over here. Okay. How about really light color of, you know, it's almost white. It's got a tinge of color to it. So could you use really could use another neutral. So maybe I will grab something that's a little more neutral. And some of these neutrals have tinges of color. This is, I like that. It's warm. I don't know what it is. I don't keep track of these things. I just should. Some people do. I don't. So, how about another Ooh, look at that. This is a Diane Townsend Tirage, which is a big fat pastel, and it has pumice in it. So I usually put those on at the very end because they really grab. Here is another kind of green. I've got a lot of red in here. I could use a little more green. What about a little of that? That's a nice color. All these are soft pastel, and actually some of them I'm not even sure what they are right anymore. I think we could use a little more yellow orange right over here maybe. And some white, I think. So you can see what was there is pretty much gone. Here is some nice red. Ooh, that's really a nice red. I like that red. It's kind of a lipstick color. Anyway, the whole idea of this is really to do little studies and look at the different variations in colors that you can find in the different color schemes. This is another neutral. Okay, so I'm gonna stop on that. I think I've got enough down. Here's a really, really light red. So these little studies like this are just a good way to test out colors and also compositions by using what's left over from cutting paper, and then sometimes you'll find that those are pieces that maybe you want to frame them. Maybe you want to have some little pastels that you could frame, and you could sell them at an art fair or give them away as gifts. So nice little abstracts. So anyway, that is my talk on color. So just to finish up here on these three that I did, that the main thing I was doing, as you could see, was deciding on my color scheme, choosing some colors based on that color scheme, looking at the variations in color, and using this analogous color wheel. This I got at Dakota Arts, but I think you can get it online through Amazon and other places. I find it very helpful because it just helps you think, like if I was thinking about this last one that I did, which was the red one. So here I have red. This is what I have in this one. But I also want some orange, and it may be red, orange, and red violet. The complement is green, really kind of a blue-green here, and the discords of a blue-violet and maybe a yellow-green in here to add some interest, and then I would have some neutrals. So I think having a color wheel just reminds you of things that maybe you forgot, and then also thinking about value. Lining the pastels up in order of dark to light, and that's what I wanted to show. So the next time, I think what I will discuss will be neutrals, how to pick those neutrals out, and how to mix neutrals with paint. So both paint and pastel next time. So hope this was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.